by to initiate release sequencer. On my mark. 5.
We're on express elevator to hell. Going down.
2. 1. Mark.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mark, a.k.a. Derringer. Today is Sunday, February 9th, and you are listening to episode 247 of the Instant Action Podcast, your weekly source for planet-side news and information. As always, I'm brought to you by great listeners like you via the Support the Show tab on instantactionpodcast.com. Speaking of that Support the Show tab, I just want to give a shout out to one of my new patrons over on Patreon, and that is Rack this week. So huge thank you to Rack for being a new patron over there. If anybody else is curious about that stuff, like I said, visit that Support the Show tab on instantactionpodcast.com, and you can. Other than that, what's been going on with me this week? Well, clearly there's so much frigging news coming out of Rogue Planet Games right now about PlanetSide 2, and my fingers have been deep in that pie, playtesting, giving feedback regarding it. It was a hugely busy week this past week leading up to the huge announcement. So without any ado, what's in store for this week's show? Well, first, there are a few new items in the depot for Valentine's Day that you might want to get your hands on. So I'm going to talk about them first before I get into the real big news segment this week, which is, of course, the reveal of the Escalation update from Rogue Planet Games. I'll give you the information on what's coming in the update, when it's coming, and when you can actually play it. After that, I'm going to spend some time giving my thoughts on Escalation, because obviously I was in the dev private playtest. And then finally, I've seen quite a few people asking where to download the test server, so I'm just going to do a quick segment on that so you guys know where to get that information as well. So strap in as we hot drop into another episode of the Instant Action Podcast. So first up this week, like I said, it's time to celebrate the Season of Love because they have brought back some of the Valentine's Day things to the depot. This is going to be running through Sunday, February 23rd, 11:59 p.m. Pacific. So you've definitely got some time. I mean, today's the 9th, so you've definitely got two full weeks to get in on picking up these things if you're interested in them. So what do we have available for the depot now to, as they say, bedazzle all who cross your path on the battlefield? Well, first off, you can get the new pink and gold tiger stripe weapon camo. Unfortunately, this is only available on the PC side of the game. But it's a pink and gold tiger stripe weapon camo. It actually doesn't look terrible. I might check this one out myself. In addition to that, they've brought back all the old favorites for Valentine's Day, and those include the Hearts Camo Bundle, which is 1,499 Daybreak Cash. You're going to get the Red Hearts Weapon Camo, the Tarnish Hearts Camo, Loyal Hearts, Indar Hearts, Amrish, Esamir, Broken Hearts, Hassan Hearts, and the Gilded Hearts Weapon Camo. Note that the only way to get the Gilded Hearts Weapon Camo is to purchase that $15 bundle. They're also bringing back the Cupid Horn Bundle, which is also 1,499 Daybreak Cash. You'll get Cupid Horns for the Ant, Flash, Harasser, Lightning, Sunderer, Magrider, Prowler, Vanguard, Scythe, Mosquito Reaver, Valkyrie, Liberator, and Galaxy. Note that you can't get it for the Bastion, maybe yet. Next is the Star-Crossed Bundle, also 1,499 Daybreak Cash. This will unlock the Blackheart Crossbow and the Chrome Heart Hood Ornament. Next, the AM7 XOXO variant of the Archer is back for 1,499 Daybreak Cash, or as my wife's Portuguese grandmother calls it, the Jojo. So again, it's a pink variant. It actually, when you hit somebody with it, little hearts pop up, and it does work towards progress for the Exceptional 2 directive if you were curious. Also, they noticed that not a lot of people purchased the Lunar New Year bundle that was out last month, so they're bringing it back for a short period of time. Actually, the only people that are going to hear about this are folks who are members on Patreon who download the show early, because that's actually ending today, the February 9th at 11:59 p.m. Pacific time. So anybody else listening to this, you've missed out on this. But again, if you're a patron over on Patreon, you'll hear this. The Lunar New Year bundle for 499 Daybreak Cash has a 1-day XP boost, the Gold NS7G PDW, and the Year of the Rat decal. All right. So there's your Valentine's Day purchasables in the depot right now. Now let's move on to the meat of this week's show. So like I said, the real meat of this week's show is the new Escalation game update that is coming to PlanetSide 2. Now, last week, they had a dev live stream where we got to see Rel, we got to see Andy Seitz, we got to see Tony, Cardo, and see them show off the new things that are coming in this Escalation game update. So first, let's talk about when this is coming to live. So starting on February 19th, as long as there are no issues, and this is next Wednesday that we're talking about. It's coming right around the corner. Wednesday, February 19th, you will be able to play Escalation on live servers. Now, in the meantime, this past Friday on the 7th, they activated the Escalation game update on the PC public test servers. So if you want to play around with the stuff that's coming out in Escalation, you can actually get on PTS right now. Again, if you're a PC player, sorry PS4, and play with this stuff. So, of course, what is this stuff that we have coming out? First, the operational Bastion Fleet Carriers are coming to the game. Mainly, every outfit now will ultimately have access to their own Bastion Fleet Carrier and able to bring it onto the field of play and use it. So they consider it the ultimate force multiplier on the battlefield. It's capable of engaging enemies at long distance with multiple manable turrets. It also serves as an air vehicle spawn for your outfit, and it should require coordinated effort to bring down, in the fact that multiple weak points on a Bastion Fleet Carrier must be destroyed. Basically, when an outfit calls one of these, everyone should go and attack it to take it down, so that it doesn't turn the tide of battle one way or another. Now, Bastions are going to require a significant outfit coordination and investment, and each Empire can only field one at any given time. And note that Bastions will contribute to Empire strength while they are deployed. Now, of course, how do you get a Bastion? Well, that's the next part of this update, which is war assets, which are new tools for outfits that are going to impact the flow of battle. It's going to be an attempt to offer some more strategic control for outfit leaders and add some additional depth and variety to everyday gameplay experience. So by capturing bases around the map, you're going to collect outfit resources that will be used to craft war assets, such as the Bastion, in your outfit armory. War assets can then be called onto the battlefield. Some examples that they've got in the PTS right now include the aforementioned Bastion Fleet Carrier, like I said, and that one's going to cost a lot to bring to the battlefield. But other than that, they've got Steel Rain as one of the options, and that would allow an outfit leader, and if they give their platoon or squad leaders access to something like that, to call in a coordinated drop pod assault onto a targeted location, which is pretty cool. You're also able to summon a Citadel Shield. It's a massive projectile blocking bubble shield that can be crafted to protect bases. Note that the top of the Citadel Shield is a hard point that can be destroyed to take the shield out. There are also multiple versions of the Anvil, which allows you to airdrop a ground vehicle of your choice into combat. They've got 3 variants of it, a light, a medium, and a heavy. The light allows you to pull a flash. The medium allows you to pull harassers and lightnings, and the heavy one will allow you to drop a Sunderer or a main battle tank. Obviously, you're going to be able to get some Sunderers pulled in and continue battles with something like the Anvil. Also, they've got the orbital satellite uplink, which allows you to pull an orbital strike anywhere onto the battlefield itself. That's probably the biggest thing that I can think of being added to the war assets right now, because obviously orbital strikes can certainly turn the tide of battle from one place to the next. Of course, war assets do take time. They do take resources to craft. And like I said, outfit leaders will have the ability to grant privileges to different outfit members to craft and or deploy these assets onto the battlefield itself. In addition, I believe that outfits are getting a couple more ranks within the outfit as well, so that they can better differentiate what types of people can use these various war assets in the game itself. Now, the next thing that they brought in, because you're saying to yourself, is that it? Because, of course, that's not it. They're bringing something new called Outfit Wars to the game. Now, I think most people had heard the term Outfit Wars prior to them talking about this, because that seems to be one of the biggest things that had leaked prior to this. But Outfit Wars is basically going to be a way for dedicated outfits to have the opportunity to qualify for a 3-way outfit v outfit v outfit battle on a brand new continent called Desolation. It's a new asteroid continent map that they say is orbiting Araxis itself. And the victor of this is going to receive additional resources, rewards, and other glory, quote-unquote glory for their empire itself. To qualify for Outfit Wars, you're going to acquire resources and help your empire within the main game itself. And the highest ranking outfits from each empire will be invited to play in these Outfit Wars. The competition cycle will consist of an off-season where you can choose to opt in to the qualifying phase, and then at the end of each qualifying phase, the highest rank outfits will enter into up to 3 qualifying brackets before going head-to-head on this Desolation continent itself. So again, you're going to be signing up for this and then playing the regular game, and the outfits that acquire the most resources, win the most alerts, provide the most everything to the main game itself are going to qualify for these Outfit Wars themselves. In addition to that, we've got outfit loyalty that's been added within this, and so there's a new personal progression system for players within their outfits. So if you participate in capturing or defending bases with outfit mates, your loyalty level will increase much like a battle rank, and you'll be able to earn merit by doing that, and then you'll be able to spend merit at outfit vendors that are in Sanctuary. And your loyalty level within your outfit will determine what kinds of items are available for purchase. Now, like I said, Sanctuary, because Sanctuary is also coming in this Escalation update. It's the new social hub for players of all empires. It's going to serve as a recruitment area for outfit leaders, a trading space for some of the new vendor NPCs where you can spend that merit, and also a low-key relaxation zone for the war-weary because weapons are off in the Sanctuary itself. It's going to launch with an atrium as well as a central operations area, and they will continue to expand this in-game community space as future updates come to the game itself. So there you go. There's a lot of shit in this update. My God. Bastion Fleet Carriers to war assets to outfit wars to outfit loyalty to Sanctuary finally being a reality in the game. Again, this stuff is live on PTS right now, and you can go ahead and download it. And again, right now, it's slated for launch on February 19th, which is less than 2 weeks from now. So let's get hyped for Sanctuary. Let's get hyped for Bastions in the game itself. And let's get hyped overall for Escalation. With that, let's move on to the third topic this week. And I'm just going to go a little more in depth on my participation in Escalation and on other stuff. So for my third topic today, let's do my thoughts on this Escalation update. And I figured I'd give you all a little bit more feedback and about what's been going on with all these private tests and stuff like that. Because as you guys know, I've been participating in the Private Dev PS2 playtesting Discord channel, which means I've been giving my feedback directly to folks like Rel and Cardo and Andy Seitz and Justin and basically everybody over there who is listening to or asked us to join this. And this all started back on January 10th. So I mean, we're talking a month ago that I got invited to take part in this, and along with me, some other familiar faces out there that you might know. Robo, who is the outfit leader of Ghosts of the Republic Goater. Also Vindicor, which is the who's the outfit leader of the Vindicators, is there. Twista X, who you guys might know as an outfit leader of Outfit X on the Connery server. Somebody who I met back when we went to SOE Live many years ago. In addition to that, I know that there were a few other people that I'm less familiar with that were invited, like Reltor was invited to this, Osprey was invited to this. Also, there were some other community folks that were invited, like Kamikaze got invited as well. Also, Murda got an invite, and if I remember correctly, Winter from Winter Gaming got invited as well, but he didn't participate as much as the rest of us. Murda didn't participate as well. He had a lot of personal stuff and other life commitments going on at the time, and I also know that Kamikaze didn't participate as much as well because he got some of the same work-related stuff cropping up, and then also the Australian bushfires affected him pretty heavily as well. So the main source of feedback in the original round of testing was from folks like myself, like Reltor, from like Osprey also, and Vindicor, and Robo, and Twista X. Those there were like 6 of us that were providing the majority of the feedback in the beginning. And we originally got brought in, and we got a nice little presentation given to us. And in this presentation, there was all the stuff that basically they talked about in this most recent patch that was given to us. And we got the overarching summary of what was going to go on, including giving outfits communal goals, adding some strategic depth to gameplay, and to encourage some competition among the various outfits. Those seem to be the main 3 goals of this update. And so through that, there was the outfit loyalty stuff they showed us, the new resource metagame that they showed us, the new war asset system that they showed off to us, the Bastion that they showed off to us, and finally the big Outfit Wars update was also showed off to us. And I can't tell you how exciting it was to be one of the first people outside of, at this point it was still Daybreak Games, outside of those developers that got to see the stuff that was coming to the game itself, or what they were putting together for the game itself. And I mean, I got to see the original Desolation map before anybody else. I got to see what the Outfit Wars stuff was going to look like. I got to see all the various war asset stuff that would be ultimately make its way into this playtest. And it was killing me sitting by myself as one of a very select group of folks to see this stuff for the first time and knowing that I couldn't talk about any of this with anybody. Because again, realize that I saw this stuff pretty much a month before anybody else. And my first reaction to all of this, because they asked all of us, they said that we're going to be playtesting this stuff, but obviously they need more than the 6 of us that were providing feedback to actually get in and playtest this stuff. So they said that they wanted to give out accounts to us so that we could use to invite trusted members of the community to come and play in this playtest. And my first thoughts were, obviously, who do I reach out to in the PlanetSide 2 community to test outfit-related stuff? And, of course, I originally thought I'm going to reach out to the folks in Bax and Joke and the Joku, the people that I play with and have been playing with the longest regarding this. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized that they're not the large group of people that probably should be invited to this. And I know after I made this decision that I think I upset a lot of those people. And now everybody knows what all this stuff is. I can, actually apologize to those folks for not making them my first selection. A lot of them called me a traitor, which kind of hurt at the time, but it is what it is. My thoughts were what would be the biggest impact for the developers to produce something that is outfit related. And the folks that I play with in Bax, it's usually a handful of guys. The folks I play with in Joke, it's usually a handful of guys. And they're not always playing PlanetSide 2. Whereas the other outfit that I spend the majority of my time, or the other half of my time, is B-Way or Bushido Way. They're able to field a full platoon at times playing PlanetSide 2 on live. So once I had realized that the guys in Bax and the guys in Joke were probably too small of a focus group for this, I zeroed in on the guys in B-Way. And I think that's why a lot of the guys in Bax and Joke called me a traitor, and because I was turning my back on them. And I regret doing that, but I hope that they now understand that I was doing it for the greater good of the game itself, of PlanetSide 2, by instead focusing on an outfit with a large group of players that I could drop into this gameplay to test it out on an outfit-wide scale. So that's why I went right to the guys in B-Way. And I'm not going to lie, the B-Way guys kind of were on the forefront of my mind to begin with when I first heard all this stuff. I know I kind of said a little differently, but I did originally when I was sitting in the presentation with Rel and Cardo and Andy and Justin, that my original thought was, wow, this is all outfit related. I probably should go to the B-Way guys. And then by the time it was done, I thought, well, maybe I should go to the Bax and Joke guys because I've played with them the longest. And then I came to my ultimate conclusion that to make this feedback best for outfits, that I should stick with the B-Way guys. And so, again, it was my initial gut that I went with regarding this. And ultimately, I'm happy that I did. Again, didn't like being called a traitor, but, sticks and stones will break my bones, but names will never hurt me. I can get over it. It's not that big a deal. I'm still friendly with all the guys in Bax and Jokes. Don't worry about it. But I chose the B-Way. And I went with B-Way, and I approached Shades and Madman and Bolters in B-Way, and I said, well, first, we had Ops Night that night, and I was making little teases on TeamSpeak while we were playing, like, what if I told you outfits will matter in 2020? And everybody was laughing at me and getting sick of me. And then at the end of the night, I said, look, I'm serious. I went to a private meeting today, and there's some really interesting stuff being created by the devs to come to PlanetSide 2. And I laid it all out on the table to Shades, Madman, and Bolters, and gave them a quick synopsis on what's coming to the test server and why I was choosing B-Way to help support this stuff. And their initial reaction, they were floored with the information that I dropped on them, because I dropped all this stuff, outfit wars, I dropped war assets, and gave them little snippets of everything that was coming to the game, being worked on by the developers, and asked if this is something that B-Way would like to participate in. And it was, hands down, yes. How many accounts can we get? Can we get a full 48? And, that was my first question back to Daybreak Games. Can I have 48 accounts for whatever we're going to be testing? And the devs, to their credit, were more than happy to drop 48 accounts on me and a 49th one for myself. So I was able to personally bring, if you include me, 49 people into the playtest for this game. Now, 49 people is 1/3 of all the players playing in these public tests. And I'm pretty proud of the fact that with B-Way's help, I was able to bring this to the devs and help them test this stuff. Am I a little saddened that I didn't get a shout out on the dev live stream last week? Yeah, I'm not going to lie. It kind of hurt that I brought a full 1/3 of their playtesters and then they didn't even mention my name. But, I'll let that bygone be bygone as well. I was also a little disappointed that they chose Twista X as the leader for the NC because, again, I brought a full 1/3 of all players into this playtest. But again, we're going to let all that slide because I'm a bigger person. I was a little disappointed when all of that went down. I'm certainly past it now, but I will mention it just for getting all the information out there on what exactly was going on. And then, the first playtest happened, and we found that we were going to be testing Outfit Wars, and I was able to get all my guys in on NC. We overpopped, and we had to send some of those folks off to play TR to kind of balance everything out. And when the first official playtest happened, I was very happy to see that a lot of those guys in Joke and Bax, which I wasn't able to invite, actually got invited by Reltor over on the TR side. I think that he was focusing more on getting people who participate on the on Jaeger and people who play in server smashes and community smashes and stuff like that. And that's a brilliant way, a brilliant and different way to look at this stuff. Again, I was focusing mostly on this is going to be outfit related. Let me get an entire outfit of players into this. And Reltor clearly was looking at it on the other side, whereas Outfit Wars is going to be a Jaeger-like environment. Let me get those players who play on a Jaeger-like environment to test this stuff out. So I think that both Reltor and I really undertook this the correct way, and each on a different way, which I'm glad that he did what he did, and I'm glad that I did what I did, because we were able to provide two good differing viewpoints of what Outfit Wars and what this Escalation game update is going to look like for those two kind of different sets of players within the game itself. And I got to say, we were all blown away by what the devs had created in what really felt like a short amount of time. They had put together all this stuff. Well, because you got to remember, not that long ago, they let go the majority of the dev team on PS2. PlanetSide Arena failed, and then they brought all those people into PlanetSide 2. But clearly, they weren't just sitting on their hands during this time. They were working on all of this stuff in the background. And so the first round of testing was great. We provided pages and pages and pages of feedback. All 48 people that I brought on my side, every single one of them provided at least one snippet of feedback on what they either liked, disliked, felt was overpowered, felt what might need to be changed, etc. Like I said, every single person who did this provided feedback. So don't think that some people were out there just playtesting it and then never providing anything to the devs regarding it. They were just kind of riding our coattails or riding our laurels playing this stuff. No, every single person that I brought took the time to sit down and put together some feedback. And I presented it, unchanged in its raw format over to the devs and said, look, here, this is everything my people are saying. Here's what they like. Here's what they don't like. Here's what they think needs to be changed. And from the first playtest that we did to the second playtest that we did, it's night and day. They made all kinds of changes and again, we were primarily testing Outfit Wars more than anything else. And the changes from the first iteration of Outfit Wars to the second iteration of Outfit Wars were huge. When I tell you that the original Outfit Wars felt really vehicle focused and not infantry focused at all, that would not be an understatement. I mean, in the first iteration, vehicles could capture points. There was ghost capping going on nonstop. There were no buildings to go into. There was really no cover for infantry, and it was just a glorified armor column against armor column. And don't get me wrong, there were some really cool battles that happened regarding that, but it didn't feel right for Outfit Wars. It didn't feel like it captured that combined arms aspect that is PlanetSide 2 of an infantry side, an armor side, and an air side. It just didn't feel like it had that. And they took all our feedback to heart, and they recycled everything and dropped us a second version that we play tested, which felt much closer to what it should be. Infantry actually mattered in this one. There were buildings that you could go inside. There were places that you could hide. Armor could no longer cap points. Air wasn't the absolute be-all, end-all of everything that it was in the original iteration. And it really gave us a good feeling that the devs were definitely listening to everything that we were throwing at them. And I mean, I threw on the first one 6 pages worth of feedback to them. All kinds of crazy stuff that we thought could be changed, could be tweaked, and not just that, but things we liked as well as to what was done. And I think Outfit Wars is in a much better state than it originally was when we first play tested it. And you guys listening to this have to thank outfits like B-Way who put the time into this to make sure that this is something that outfits wanted to play. And then after we did a couple rounds of Outfit Wars through playtest, we took a week off because a lot of people were getting burnt out. You guys have no idea how difficult it is to coordinate 48 people onto a private test server, make sure people have an account, make sure they're all patched up beforehand, make sure they're all logged in. I mean, the devs have so much that they've got to work on in the background, but at times communication coming from them was really slow on when exactly stuff would open, on when exactly PTS we could be able to download the PTS and stuff like that. I can't really fault them on it because, like I said, they had a lot of shit going on in the background to get to the state that they're in. But again, after we did a couple rounds of Outfit Wars testing and got that to a good place, they next dropped us into a regular map so we could play around with the war assets. And they greatly reduced the time to drop war assets and allowed, basically, on the first playtest, orbital strikes were happening nonstop over and over and over again as we were fighting over the tech plant on Esamir. It was absolutely crazy. But it really gave us a chance to look at war assets for the first time and see how they would play into the game itself. And I do have to say, the war asset aspect of everything felt much more polished than the Outfit Wars side of it. And I think that everything regarding war assets was already in a good place before we even touched it. And then to end that playtest, we got to see the Bastion for the first time. Got to pull Bastions, fly around them, fight over them, blow them out of the sky, and see a Bastion in action for the first time. And we also got to see Sanctuary for the first time. And I remember seeing Sanctuary and seeing people dropping anvils in Sanctuary, which made the devs realize that they had not disabled the war asset stuff in Sanctuary. And also a lot of us found out ways to get out of Sanctuary. There are a few videos I know out there of people who had, through clever use of physics, gotten their way outside of Sanctuary and started running through space to try to get to Araxis. So these are bugs that are fixed in the game itself, thanks to the feedback that we provided also. So that's just kind of where everything was in the background that a lot of you didn't get to hear about. Again, I think if you guys see them in game, that you listen to this, see folks in B-Way, see guys in Back, see guys in Joke, and I'm mostly talking about Emerald side. If you see guys in 1TR, if you see guys in HZD, If you see guys in V or in Goder, or if you see guys in Outfit X over on Connery, I think you should take the time to thank those outfit leaders for getting their folks together to participate in this stuff, to help test it for you, because I think that they might not be getting a lot of the credit that they deserve, and I will definitely be one of the first people to personally thank all these outfit folks and all these people that got on and were able to test this stuff. Again, if you see Reltor, if you see Osprey in game, you should thank them also, because they were very instrumental on getting a lot of the European players into the test server as well to provide their feedback. Do yourself a favor and just send these guys a quick tell in game if you see them, just thanking them for the work that they did, because a lot of this is unsung, and a lot of us are not really getting huge recognition for the colossal undertaking that this was to get folks into a private server and keep them quiet. You know, we weren't under an NDA, but we were certainly told not to release this information to the public. So the fact that all of us could kind of keep all this under wraps and still provide good feedback to get to the state that it is right now really impressed me and showed a lot of the integrity of the people that we had in this playtest and playing with it. I do think the one detraction that I have regarding this is I do wish we had gotten more outfits from Connery in the first round of playtesting. Unfortunately, Twista X was really the only Connery person that was invited into this, and I don't know what his inroads are with the various other large outfits that play on Connery. I mean, I personally would have liked to have seen the folks in Recursion on Connery in this. I would have liked to have seen some of the DPSO folks on Connery playing in this, but I personally didn't have the connections with those people to get them into the game itself. And again, I used up all 48 of my slots on B-Way members to get that full outfit into the game itself. So if I were to redo this, that would be the one glaring mistake I think that we made on this, is to get more of those people into the original Outfit Wars testing. And hopefully if we get invited to do something like this, maybe 6 or 12 months down the road when the next big thing for PlanetSide 2 is coming out, that if I'm invited, that's going to be one of the things that I make sure that we do, because I do think that it was a downfall through it. So now that I've given you the backstory on the PTS and everything like that, let me talk about this Escalation update itself, because I do have some thoughts on it. I do have some concerns with it and things like that. My first concern is, can the devs meet this February 19th deadline? I do think that most of the stuff that they've showed us is in a pretty good state right now, but I think that there's a lot of exploitation that can be made with this. Just as an example, the Citadel shield feels very overpowered in some situations when it can't be shot through. Like if you are able to put one around like a friend, one of your Sunderers, it's very difficult if that Sunderer is properly defended to then destroy that Sunderer. I also think that it's going to be very easy for folks to call in the heavy anvils and start putting main battle tanks in places that they were never meant to go. And I think that could be an issue. I don't know if that means they need to think about no deploy zones for anvil drops or not, but that's definitely something that I hope they tweak properly. Also, since we've only been playing in a test environment, we don't know what any of the asset gain features are, like how long it takes to create any of these things. Like I said, on test right now, I think it's set to just one resource to call in a Steel Rain, Citadel Shield, an Anvil, or an Orbital Strike. So as long as you collect one resource, you can spawn these things. So we don't know what the final number of those things will be, and I hope that they're calculated correctly so that these things are difficult to obtain. And speaking of making things difficult to obtain, We currently don't know what the basic gain is going to be for capturing bases or holding bases, because don't forget, you're going to earn these resources and loyalty by capturing and holding bases. So the longer that your outfit's decal remains on a base, you're going to earn points for your outfit for that. Now, is that going to result in some mega outfits being created where we get perhaps a European outfit and a US outfit grouping up together, and then during off hours the US players play on the European server and ghost cap a bunch of bases to get your outfit decal on those bases, and then vice versa during downtime on the US, do those European players come to the US and do the exact same thing? And then that will leave you with 2 mega outfits on each one, made up of the exact same players who are able to game the system with points to get them into outfit wars, and also with unlimited resources to call in Steel Rain and Bastion Fleet Carriers at their will. So that's one thing that concerns me. We also don't really know what the point earning is going to be made up of. Like, say you've got 3 or 4 large outfits, or even 3 or 4 small outfits attacking a base, and they take the base. How are points awarded? We don't really know that information yet. The devs are keeping that close to their vests in this particular case. Also, what if a Zerg fit and a smaller outfit are both competing over the same base, and the Zerg fit, just because it has more players, does that mean they're going to earn more points for capping a base, or is it going to be evenly distributed based on the number of outfits that are there? Again, these are questions that we don't know the answer to, but really feel like they could break some of the intent behind these things. Also, we don't even know how outfits are going to be counted for outfit wars. We don't know when the competitions are going to happen. I'd be really concerned if they launch the first couple of these and it's always the exact same outfits participating in this, and then lesser outfits are like, well, why do I even bother, because I'm never going to make it into this anyways, even if I try. And then I haven't even gotten into the fact of lone wolf players. There are a lot of solo players out there for PlanetSide 2, and none of this stuff will appeal to them whatsoever. They're going to be forced to join an outfit to participate in some of this stuff. So I do have a lot of lingering questions and concerns and hopes for what comes out of this. On the flip side of that coin, am I really excited about this stuff? Holy fucking shit, am I excited about this stuff. This is one of the biggest things to come to PlanetSide 2 in as long as I can remember. And this is bigger than construction. This is bigger than NSO operatives. This is bigger than DirectX 11 as far as I'm concerned. This is, without a lie, one of the biggest things to come to PlanetSide 2 in a long time. And the fact that it's right around the corner from us has me absolutely psyched that I can't wait to get into this and play with my outfit and experience some of this stuff. I can't wait for my outfit leader in-game live to drop a Steel Rain for the first time. I can't wait for us to spawn our first Bastion Fleet Carrier. I can't wait to assault our first Bastion Fleet Carrier on live. This update has got me really, really excited for PlanetSide 2. And I hope, even though I just mentioned a lot of issues that there are, that it's making you guys excited for what's coming to PlanetSide 2 as well. And at this point, I think I'm going to wrap up everything regarding my thoughts on Escalation itself. And hopefully that gives you all a bigger picture on how I got to where I am, how feedback was provided, because I know a lot of people were questioning that, and also what I think might be some of the flaws coming into this, and what my excitement level is for it right now. With that, let's move on to our fourth and final topic this week. So that last topic is, how do I download the test server? And there are a couple ways to get to it. Probably the easiest way on PC to download the PTS is if you go to the PlanetSide subreddit on the right-hand side of the screen under Web, there is the last item there is Test Server Installer. If you click on that, it's going to download the Test Server Installer for you. You don't need to go to any other websites or do any other thing. Click that, and it's going to bring you right to the installer. Launch that, install it, and play. Also, if you play this exclusively on Steam, if you go to the PlanetSide 2 store page, there is a link to the Steam-based install for the PTS as well, if that's the route that you want to go. But again, go onto the subreddit. That's probably the best way, I would say, to do it. And you can get the test server installer right on the right-hand side of the screen. With that, let's wrap up this week's show by moving on to housekeeping.
Housekeeping. Housekeeping.
Come back later, please.
Housekeeping.
Not now.
Housekeeping.
Go away.
I coming anyway?
First up in housekeeping this week, I want to give another shout out to Rack for being a new patron over on Patreon this week. I really appreciate your support on Patreon. Again, for those who are curious, if you go to the Instant Action Podcast on Patreon, you can support it for as little as $1 a month and get access to shows a day earlier than anybody else. Once I finish recording each week's show, I put it up first on Patreon, and you can get it first there before anybody else does. So again, Rack, I really appreciate it, and I'm dedicating this week's show to you. Other than that, I did get some emails this week. The first one was from Condor. I think I'm saying that, Condwr. I believe it's Condor. He writes, "Hi, Derringer. First, wanted to email first off and say that although I've only been listening to the show for a short period of time, I'm really digging it so far, and I hope that you continue to give us the good news. Per your last podcast, I just want to say thanks for shedding some light onto the streamers of PlanetSide 2. I myself have been streaming PS2 for a couple of months now, and so far the community feedback in general is amazing. I'm more on the EU side of things when it comes to PS2, and I've been getting a tremendous amount of support from other streamers such as Mayan, Mofker, Zemnus, and True Imp Hunter, as well as other people in the community whom themselves do not stream but always make sure that they're in the chat and showing their love for both the game and us streamers. I wish I'd found your podcast sooner, and I gotta apologize for that. I'm still fairly new to the overall content creator community and definitely trying to improve and learn all the big names. But I just wanted to send this email and say thank you for acknowledging and spreading the word of the Twitch community. Much love. Keep up the good work, soldier. I hope to see you on Araxis someday." Condor, I want to say thank you. Funny thing is, I've gotten a lot of love for the streamers this past week. Once I mentioned it on last week's show, I really feel like I was doing streamers of PlanetSide 2 a disservice by not talking about you guys more. So like you mentioned Mofker as a great example. Last week while I was, at work and I didn't really want to listen to any music, I popped on Mofker's Twitch stream and watched him for a while. I gifted a sub in his stream as well. And he recognized me and was all, fangirly about it, which I wish you weren't, Mofker, because I'm nobody famous. I'm just a small podcaster. But it was nice to jump into his community and see the folks there, interact with them, and talk about all kinds of stuff like that. And I want to do that more for the streaming community because I think you guys are important. But anyways, I do appreciate the email. I also got an email from a PlayStation 4 user, Muchus, and he wrote, "Dear Mark, thank you for taking the time to read this email, and thank you for making such an informative podcast. So I recently got back into playing PS2 on PS4 after a couple of years of not playing. I currently play Vanu on Genudyne. PlanetSide 2 is always best played with others, so I figured I might as well join an outfit. The way I thought to do this was to join a squad, do well, and get invited to an outfit. Only problem is, none of the squads ever have high cohesion. And how am I supposed to do well if nobody is even close to each other? What do you think is the best way to find an outfit to join? Thanks for reading." Well, first off, Mooches, I'm sorry that you're having trouble in-game finding an outfit. There definitely can be... I would have gone the exact same route as you did if I was brand new to PlanetSide 2. Because obviously it makes perfect sense. You join a squad. If the leader of that squad is an outfit leader or somebody in an outfit, you'd think that if they had players that were good and caught their attention, that they'd immediately join them or invite them to join their outfit. You know, your avenue makes perfect sense. And like I said, that's what I would do as well. Now, clearly that's not working on PS2 on PS4. And that might be because the population on PS2 on PS4 is a lot smaller than it is on the PC side. Hopefully, with the game update that I just talked about, which the devs did say at one point on Twitter, and let me find that. All right, here's what it is. Insomniac Dak wrote, "What a fun stream. Thanks for taking us along. Any word on whether or not this will see the light of day for console edition owners?" And Andy Seitz replied to this that yes, as of now, we plan to bring the PlanetSide 2 Escalation update to PS4, but there will be a bit of a delay between releases due to the amount of work required. It also likely means that the construction system will finally move over as well. So hopefully, with the amount of people that are being seen on the PC side of the game, because numbers right now are phenomenally huge on the PC side of the game for people that are psyched because of this. I mean, we've had some of our largest or highest server populations in a while because of this. If that stuff makes it over to the PS4 side of the game, that you're going to see an influx of players back to play out that stuff as well. So if that's the case, it might be a lot easier to find an outfit at that time. But I think for sure you're looking to find an outfit now. And I will probably make the recommendation then, if you're not on Reddit already, you should go to Reddit. And if you go to the PS4 PlanetSide 2 subreddit, every Friday, they do auto post a Find an Outfit Friday post. And usually it's outfits that are, making posts saying, here's an outfit that you can join. Like, for example, you said you play Vanu, the outfit, the Predacons with the outfit tag AT&T, wrote that they're the most active outfit on Genuine. They specialize coordinate offensive and defensive maneuvering to win alerts and lock continents. When the work is done, we'll focus on having fun through unorthodox maneuvering and farming XP. If you like pulling vehicles, flying, or running infantry, we do it all. If interested, join our open squads and we'll keep an eye on you. The applications are bugged, so you must message us if you want to sign up. We use in-game comms exclusively, but voice comms are not a requirement. So, I mean, there's one example of the ones who consider themselves the largest VS outfit on your server. The Predacons is one that you could certainly join. I would keep my eye open on this Find an Outfit Friday post. I mean, it pops up every week. And that might be the best place for you to drop something in. Just, make a little comment there saying, I'm looking for an outfit. This is where I play. This is the times that I play, and see if anybody jumps out at you. And then from there, find those people's squads in game, play with those people, and then you might have a better chance of joining an outfit. So that would be my recommendation at this point, and I hope that helps you. But thanks for being a listener. All right, that's going to be it for this week's show. This is a bit of a longer show than usual, obviously, because with this Escalation update coming, there's a hell of a lot to talk about, and I hope you all enjoyed the kind of behind-the-scenes look that I gave on how we got to Escalation from my point of view. But again, that's going to be it for this week's show. As always, how can you get in touch with me or the show itself? Your first stop should be my website, which is www.instantactionpodcast.com, where you could go like Rack did and become a patron if you'd like to. You can also email me at instantactionshow@gmail.com, much like both Condor and Muchas did. And you can also follow the show on Twitter at InstActPodcast, where you'll get all the timely news that I put out on Twitter. But in closing, if you've enjoyed the show, please leave me a review on your podcast listening avenue of choice, whether it's iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or anywhere else. Also, feel free to tell your friends and outfit mates about the show. But finally, thanks for listening, and keep spamming that Join Combat, formerly known as Instant Action button. Derringer out.